All right, so today we're going to find a great perfect solution to the problem that you've identified in the last couple of classes. So now that you've seen that video, just introducing you to how to come up with solutions, we're going to do an activity to try to get our problem solved. So I want you to go back to that problem that you identified earlier and simplify that problem down to one sentence, just one sentence, and write that sentence down at the top of a piece of paper. Or if you're using a digital document, just type it at the top of a Word document. For example, if we looked back at that video that we saw, the developer in Mixtiles would probably say that his problem was getting people's pictures from their phone to their wall. So really simplify it down. Now, let's take that problem and start thinking about it in a few different ways. So first, I want you to think about what you've seen in Google searches or through your customer data information that you found, or different places where you've looked up what are solutions to this problem. I want you to identify at least 3 things that have already been done to try to solve this problem. And I want you to write them down below your one sentence. So leave space in between each if you're doing this on paper. Then I want you to write down why those solutions aren't meeting the needs of the people. Why is this still a problem if the solution is available to people? So, for example, Shutterfly is another example of someone taking photos from your phone and putting them into print. But Shutterfly obviously wasn't meeting the needs of people who needed something like Mixtile, right? So think about 3 different solutions that are solutions to your problem that are already out there. Identify what they are, and then write down why they're not meeting those needs. Now we're going to go dive in a little bit deeper. So I want you to go back to your problem statement, that sentence that you had at the top of your paper. Read over that problem statement a few times to yourself. Then I want you to quickly write down as many ideas of things that could solve the problem on either individual sticky notes or small pieces of paper. Or if you're doing this digitally, just write them all down on the document that you're working off of. Try to do this very quickly, whatever comes to mind. Don't worry if the ideas are crazy or not fully developed or not the one solution that you already have thought is going to solve your problem, but try to get all of the ideas out there. You want to try to come up with at least 6. I'd take about 5 minutes to kind of do this. All right, now let's start finding a solution. So I want you to read over all of your ideas, all of those crazy ones and practical ones and ones you've been thinking about a lot and ones that maybe just came to mind. And I want you to go, if you notice an idea that's like a different idea, I want you to place those sticky notes together. Now, if you're doing this digitally, just kind of drag and drop them so that you can kind of group them. The idea is to group all the different ideas so that you can see all the different solutions to the problem. Now, I want you to look at all those solutions and ask yourself the following question. Does this solution already exist? Okay, so refer to that already been done list that you made, right, where you put down at least 3 things that have already been done. If something sounds really similar to what's already been done, I want you to just delete it. So if you're working off a digital file, just delete it. If you are working off a sticky note, just put it in a discard pile. So right now what you're wanting to do is look through all the solutions that you just wrote down and see, has this already been done, is what you're looking for. And if it has, you want to remove it from your options. The next step now is to look and see what's left, okay? And I want you to ask the following questions. Is this a solution that's a lot better than something that already exists for the problem? And if you feel like the solution isn't a lot better, like it's not enough of a difference from something that's already out there, then I want you to also take that solution off your paper. So if you're doing a digital file, just delete it. If you have done this with sticky notes, just put them in a discard pile. All right, now look at the solutions you have left. You probably only have a few, and that's okay. And I want you to ask yourself the following question. Is this a solution that could really become a business idea, a product or a service that could make money or be successful in some ways? So, for example, a solution to getting pictures from phone to wall might be to use mind reading to have your phone decide what pictures to print. But that doesn't really exist, and the logistics of doing something like that and the technologies available to do something like that aren't really around right now, right? So that's something you would want to remove. But a solution, for instance, like having someone personally look through all your pictures on your phone and choose the ones they like best, might be hard to also be successful, right? Because it would cost a lot of money to have people do that for you. So think about the pragmatics of the solutions that you have here and see, are there anything that's going to have a major roadblock? For instance, it's going to logistically not work, or the technology hasn't been developed, or it's just, it's just too complex. And you want to remove any of those sorts of solutions off of your paper. So again, pull those sticky notes off or digitally delete. All right, so now you've got some really good ideas that could be your business idea. The next step is to decide which of these ideas is going to be your final plan. So I want you to think about the different solutions and keep in mind the following: your time frame. You're going to have about 3 weeks to create a prototype, a model of what this would look like, and a pitch for your idea. The prototype doesn't have to be a working prototype. So for instance, it could be, a picture of an app that you want to develop, or it could be, a 3-dimensional design of a robotics kind of thing that you would want to create. It doesn't have to be the actual thing, but you want to have some sort of model with you. So try to think about that. And then also make sure your solution is really solving the problem you identified. Ask yourself, would you buy this product or service or solution to solve this? All right, you've done it. You've come up with the solution that you can use for your business plan. Now we're going to go move on to the next steps of this. So check the bulletin to see the next step.